Pieces Together is brought to you locally by Bank of KUAM, the People's Bank. Wanika Alcantara remembers the emotion she felt when her son Dylan was born.
He was perfect, and when I say perfect, you just kind of imagine just this, it sounds so cliche, but just this bundle of love that you're holding all of a sudden. And I looked at him and I was like, wow, he's mine and I'm his, and he was this little human that I was going to love and protect for beyond forever.
When Dylan was in daycare, it was a director that brought to the attention some of her concerns based on what she had observed and suggested that they take Dylan to Guam Early Intervention for assessments.
Dylan was diagnosed with autism shortly after he turned 2. He went through about 6 months of assessments, and upon completion of those assessments, it was just without a doubt, your son has autism.
Upon hearing the diagnosis, she says she first felt uncertainty.
We're sitting there and we were receiving all this information, just an overload of information. Prior to that, we didn't have any knowledge of autism or any in-depth understanding about autism. And all of a sudden, we were on the receiving end of all of that information.
He falls in the middle of the spectrum, and she describes some of Dylan's tendencies, including his self-injurious behavior.
You'll see him hit himself. You'll see him bang his head. He does what's called stimming, and sometimes that comes out whether it's like a physical behavior or just these vocal expressions that are pretty repetitive.
Now 11, she describes Dylan as this ball of energy. Her face lights up whenever she speaks of how amazing her son is.
He is artistically inclined. He loves modeling clay. We've got containers and containers of it at home. He does like to paint. He loves cookie cake. The ladies at Great American Cookie Company, they know us so well, and it just, every time we go there, I'm just like, oh my goodness. He loves the water. He is my aqua boy. We've taken him to the beach as young as 6 months old, and since then going to the beach was something that our family did on a very regular basis.
She's grateful for the support and love she and Dylan receive from family and friends.
They see him and they see how he really is just, in a sense like every other kid, he expresses himself a bit differently.
And although it's a journey that may have its challenges,
people they joke and they talk about how your life ends when theirs starts, but I think as a mom, mine started.
Putting the Pieces Together is brought to you locally by Bank of KUAM, the People's Bank.